Good morning, everyone. Did I have a day yesterday? I thought about my day yesterday, and the question came to my mind, no doubt from Spirit World this morning, because I think about things uh, a lot. Then they help me think. and in the last couple of days, there's a new baby being born of yeah, good, 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 best friend forever, sis in faith, is becoming a grandma again. Probably has by now. I haven't asked her yet. And then yesterday I also got some sad news of a friend who passed away. I'm better friends with his sister-in-law, and I thought, well, there you go, life and death. That's just a part of our lives, isn't it? Life and death. Hey, yeah. Such wonderful news, and then sad news, though you all know by now how I feel about passing to spirit world. Yet, huh? Yeah. It's never easy for the people left behind real close. Yeah. Yes, to begin with, it's always that way. That's why we call it grief. Yes, just don't let your grief become PTSD. All right? There's no need for that. And of course, the joyful, just amazing, every time wonder, miracle of a baby being born. Yes, all right. So I thought, happiness. What makes you happy? What brings you happiness? I'll tell you. So, finally, yesterday, I went with my daughter and granddaughter. We went to the store. We had only a limited amount of time before my other grandchildren would be here. And we went to the store and we got everything we needed, right? Yes, of course. My attention was for the cookie making and all. And had a great time in the store, really, when it came down to it. It's fun shopping with two people that have fun shopping. Okay, I'm not. All right, all right. But anyway, all went well, and I'm amazed on how we managed to get everything together in a short amount of time. Just amazing. Get home, here come three more. Yes, including the boy I took care of in the summer as well. And sure enough, it didn't take long, and they all came, hugged, said, Rosie, the Adventure Maniacs are back together. I'm going, yep, it's going to be a great day. So I was busy, I would say, for hours and hours and hours in the kitchen, making the dough. My youngest granddaughter loves to help with all that, and she's really, for considering she'll be 5 soon, couple of months, considering she's very knowledgeable, I tell you guys, for her age, because she loves to help. She wants to be a part of things. And her mommy lets her too, and her daddy lets her too, right? So she's great at cleaning too. Yeah. And the boys kind of flipped in and out, kind of seeing what's going on. But yeah, they had each other to play with. They had other things to do. And then my oldest granddaughter learned how to make a bread dough, because we made that Christmas bread, yeah, from Switzerland. Turned out to be just absolutely yum, yum, yum. You had to put it away so that you didn't eat all of it at once, right? Everybody loved it. And the cookies came out amazingly well. I haven't made any Swiss Christmas cookies in a number of years. And today we're going to make the gingerbread one and the chocolate hearts. So I'm not done yet. Oh my goodness. Then we played a game called Herd Your Horses. It's a really amazing game. I think that game has been now in our family for 30 years. I think my oldest daughter got it when she was about 5 or 6, and everyone loves that game. So we played that game, and everybody, again, people came and went, or the kids came and went, playing the game. Well, looks like my daughter is awake. Yeah. Anyway, and it was interesting to play it with the boys as well. As I said, we had three. It was set up for three. First for 2 people to play. Then there was one more came, and it was 3 people. But we were 5 people here, so I always gave up my spot for whichever. Because I want to play it too. I said, okay, you can play for me, right? And then, okay, it was the funniest way to play the game, but it all worked out. The boys too. They could only. Boys can. These 2 boys are really energetic. So they could only sit for so long. And suddenly they were all up, both of them up, throwing the dice and I got this. I'm gonna get that from you, and they were all up, and it was just fun. It was just fun. Okay. In any case, so evening came, and okay. Everything was done, cleaned up more or less. And my daughter forgot to put the cookies away and the bread. Did you hear me? Honey?
What do you mean put them away? I thought they were just supposed to be covered.
Yeah, but I thought you were going to put them in the pantry. It's fine, the cats didn't get to it. It's okay, it didn't matter. Somehow they were protected.
I'm sorry, I thought you just meant covered.
It's all good. And I got to the steps to go up into my room, and I went, oh my gosh, I don't think I can get up there. My legs won't work. And I stood at the bottom of the steps, and I felt the happiest day. And even though physically I was kind of suffering a bit, right? Yes, I was just happy. It was such a great day to spend with everyone. Eh? It all went well. I got up, went to bed, and I slept like a baby. It was amazing. Anyway, so what makes you happy? I had an amazing, happy day yesterday, being here with my daughter's family, with my other daughter's children, my grandchildren, and that extra boy. Yes, it was just amazing. Loved it. Loved it. A wonderful day. I was exhausted, but I loved every bit of it. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Is happiness just about feeling great all the time? I mean, everything goes well all the time, or there's no give and take. We say, as I said, great day, but ooh, my body definitely said, man, you really did a lot today. Right? Yes? Anyway, think about what makes you really happy. Right? Is it a lot of money? Is it a lot of things? What is it? Huh? Yeah. All right. Well, let's go on here with our reading. That's what I wanted to talk about. And of course, I always give thanks to God for all of it. Right? Yes? Yeah. Okay. So, we are in the second book of Kings, 4. Oh, some miracles of Elisha. All right. Getting into that now. Oh, which brings me to yesterday was like a miracle day, wasn't it not? Of course, everybody contributed to that miracle day. God didn't just make it happen, right? Or someone else out there. So everybody together made a miracle day happen. Yes. Cookies came out great, by the way. All right. Some miracles of Elisha, the widow's oil, the wife of a member of the prophetic brotherhood. What the heck is that prophetic brotherhood? I thought that before too. Isn't it supposed to be the tribe of the Levites? What did they make up? Some kind of another something? Brotherhood, prophetic brotherhood. Appeal to Elijah. I wonder what they want this time. Your servant, my husband. Oh, she's the wife of one of them. Your servant, my husband, is dead, she said, and you know how your servant revered Yahweh. A creditor has now come to take my 2 children and make them his slaves. Elisha said, what can I do for you? Tell me, what have you got in the house? Your servant has nothing in the house, she replied, except the flask of oil. Then he said, go outside and borrow jars from all your neighbors, empty jars and not too few. When you come back, shut the door on yourself and your sons, and pour the oil into all these jars, putting each aside when it is full. So she left him, and she shut the door on herself and her sons. They passed her the jars, and she went on pouring. When the jars were full, she said to her son, pass me another jar. There are no more, he replied. Then the oil stopped flowing. She went and told the man of God, who said, go and sell the oil and redeem your pledge. You and your children can live on the remainder. Okay. Must try that sometime. Okay. Well, I tell you what, if I think about the story now here, and when I make the cookie doughs, they're not very big. They end up being like this little round ball that then you put in the fridge so that they get cool, so it's easy to roll them out, and they won't split and stick to the table all of this. And you'd be amazed how many cookies you can make out of a little ball like that's like never ending. I'm not kidding. Yeah, Even my little granddaughter, she says, Gracie, look all the cookies we have, and we have another ball. I said, yeah, I know. It's like, it's just, right? Never ending. No. Well, anyway, that just came to my mind when I look at that. Sometimes something where it looks like, well, there's just a little there. Well, you can stretch that to a lot, depending on what it is, right? Yes. Rather than, how about it? Huh? Waste not, want not. Right? There you go. Good one. Good story. The woman of Shunem and her son. One day, as Elisha was on his way to Shunem, a woman of rank who lived there pressed him to stay and eat there. After this, he always broke his journey for a meal when he passed that way. She said to her husband, look, I am sure the man who is constantly passing our way must be a holy man of God. Let us build him a small walled room and put him a bed in it, and a table and chair and lamp. Whenever he comes to us, he can rest there. One day when he came, he retired to the upper room and lay down. He said to his servant Gehazi, call our Shunammite. He called her, and when she appeared, Elisha said, tell her this, look, you have gone to all this trouble for us. What can we do for you? Is there anything you would like said for you to the king or the commander of the army? But she replied, I live with my own people about me. What can I do for you then? He asked. Gehazi replied, well, she has no son and her husband is old. Elisha said, call her. The servant called her, and she stood at the door. This time next year, he said, you will hold a son in your arms. But she said, no, my lord, do not deceive your servant. But the woman did conceive, and she gave birth to a son at the time that Elisha had said she would. The child grew up. One day he went to his father, who was with the reapers, and exclaimed to his father, oh, my head, my head. The father told the servant to carry him to his mother. He lifted him up and took him to his mother, and the boy lay on her lap until midday, when he died. She went upstairs, laid him on the bed of the man of God. shut the door on him, and went out. She called her husband and said, "Send me one of the servants with a donkey. I must hurry to the man of God and back." "Why go to him today?" he asked. "It is not new moon or Sabbath." But she replied, "Never mind." She had the donkey saddled and said to her servant, "Lead on, go. Do not draw rein until I give the order." Oh, this story sounds awfully familiar. I think we already had this story somewhere. Huh. Same one? That sounds really familiar. Okay. She set off and made her way to the man of God at Mount Carmel. When the man of God saw her in the distance, he said to his servant Gehazi, "Look, here comes our Shunammite. Now run and meet her and ask her, 'Are you well?'" I find it interesting. She doesn't have a name. These people don't have any names. Everybody else has names. We know now that Elisha has a servant named Gehazi. I find that interesting when they're so detailed in some things and then are missing out on. So who was that woman? No? Okay. What's her name? "Are you well? Is your husband well? Your child well?" "Yes," she replied when she came to the man of God there on the mountain. She took hold of his feet. Gehazi stopped forward to push her away, but the man of God said, "Leave her. There is bitterness in her soul, and Yahweh has hidden it from me. He has not told me." She said, "Did I ask my Lord for a son? Did I not say, 'Don't deceive me'?" Now he asks her, "Are you well? Is your husband well? Your child well?" "Yes," she replied. Okay. How does that make sense? Elisha said to Gehazi, "Hitch up your clothes, take my staff in your hand, and go. If you meet anyone, do not greet him. If anyone greets you, do not answer him. You are to stretch out my staff over the child." But the child's mother said, "As Yahweh lives, and as you yourself live, I will not leave you." Then he stood up and followed her. Gehazi had gone ahead of them and had stretched out the staff over the child. But there was no sound or response. He went back to meet Elisha and told him, "The child has not woken up," he said. Oh. So the child's not really dead. The child's in a coma. Elisha then went to the house, and there on his bed lay the child, dead. Oh, it is dead. He went in and shut the door on the two of them and prayed to Yahweh. Then he climbed onto the bed and stretched himself on top of the child, putting his mouth on his mouth, his eyes to his eyes, and his hands on his hands. And as he lowered himself onto him, the child's flesh grew warm. Then he got up and walked to and fro inside the house, and then climbed onto the bed again and lowered himself onto the child 7 times in all. Then the child sneezed and opened his eyes. He then summoned Gehazi. "Call our Shunammite," he said. He called her. When she came to him, he said, "Pick up your son." She went in and, falling at his feet, prostrated herself on the floor, and then picked up her son and went out. We've already heard this story. Maybe it's repeated. I don't know. I have no idea. Bringing people back from the dead? Nah. I don't know.
Mama, did you use those potatoes that were here?
No, they're in the pantry. The poisoned soup. Elisha went back to Gilgal where there was famine in the country. As the brotherhood of prophets were sitting with him, he said to his servant, "Put the large pot on the fire and cook some soup for the brotherhood." One of them went into the fields to gather herbs and came on some wild vine. W and a V. Okay, nice. Of which he gathered enough gourds to fill his lap. On his return, he cut them up into the pot of soup. They did not know what they were. Oh, oopsie. They then poured the soup out for the men to eat. But they had no sooner tasted the soup than they cried, "Man of God, there is death in the pot," and they could not eat it. "Bring some meal then," Elisha said. This he threw into the pot and said, pour out for the company to eat, and there was nothing harmful in the pot. Okay. Don't know. I have no idea. Okay. The multiplication of loaves. A man came from Baal Shalisha. Huh, funny name. Bringing the man of God bread from the first fruits, 20 barley loaves and fresh grains still in the husk. Give it to the company to eat, Elisha said. But his servant replied, how can I serve this to 100 men? Give it to the company to eat, he insisted. For Yahweh says this, they will eat and have some left over. He served them, they ate and had some left over, as Yahweh had said. Oh, interesting. What does that one bring to mind? The fish and bread with Jesus. Okay, well, there you go. I don't know what that's in here. I have no idea. I'm not all that impressed with these miracles, or if they are miracles, or if they are just some fantastical stories, right? Yes? I have no idea. Don't know, don't care, not interested. I don't need these kind of miracles in my life. What did I tell you how my day went yesterday? And what did it create? Right there. Huh? Yes. You're looking for the big things, and that's only the ones that you're looking for, because that's what seems to matter to most people. You're probably going to miss the little things that really truly matter. Right? Yes. All right. Had my say here. Okay. Well, so be it. That's interesting. The second book of Kings, we seem to be more into the going back into the mindset of at least God is here somewhere. Is he represented in the right way? I don't know. Well, I have to keep on reading, right? Oh, there's more stuff. Naaman is healed. That'll be next time. Okay. All right. Yes? Well, in any case, that's all I have to share this morning. People are already moving around, so me talking here, then I can't talk. God's love and blessings always. May he protect you, and I will talk to you another time.